Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Practical and Healing Applications of A Course in Miracles with me and Rebecca Quinn. And we are going to be talking about A Course in Miracles like we do every Monday at this time. I've been away for a week or so. I was traveling, looking at some new colleges with ARIA, for ARIA in Florida. So, been doing the motherly scholastic thing. And so happy to be back with you guys and talking about A Course in Miracles. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind is so intense right now that it's making this really crazy sound as it pulls the windows in and out. So if you hear this crazy sound, that is the wind outside my window right now. Big wind up here. All right, guys. So I'm so glad you've joined us, and we're going to be talking about A Course in Miracles. And I'm going to put here for you where we're going to be if you would like to follow along. We're going to be in the workbook today. All right. Well, today's class really is, in a way, part two of the class that I did yesterday at the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center. And the title of that class what was the title of that class? It was Your Statement of Freedom from Every Form of Danger and Tyranny. Right. And the title of it was I'm Under No Laws But God's. And that class came in answer to my prayer where I said, where I was tuning into some things that were going on in the world, and I was really tempted to feel really scared and really angry and really pissed off and to feel like a victim, frankly. Um, and, um, and I just said to Spirit before Sunday's class, Spirit, what is it that you would have me remember relative to this fear of the world that I am experiencing? I was having fear as I was noticing how completely insane our world is and how it seems to be getting more insane and more dangerous, and where it seems like the world is controlled by satanic psychopaths, right? Where they have all the power and we have none. And it looks like that and it feels like that to me very often. And I am tempted to feel very pissed off and very scared and very helpless. But I knew that Spirit had an answer to how I can have peace and how I can experience safety and peace and abundance and joy, even here in this crazy world where it seems like the world is controlled by a few satanic psychopaths who seem to control everything and don't seem to have our best interests at heart at all. So the Course in Miracles is teaching us the truth that you can still experience peace and joy and abundance and safety and love even here in the ego's world. The Course in Miracles does tell us that the world was originally created as a natural grand division. It's like the world was made as made from fear, made from the desire, the impulse to separate from our source, from God. The Course in Miracles says that's where the world came from. The Course in Miracles tells us that for sure God did not create a world that death rules, where everything lives off the death of something else, where lack and death and separation seem to be, and taxes seem to be the only real constant thing. The Course in Miracles says God did not create the world of death and separation and taxes and lack and loss, right? That came from the ego, right? So And the Course in Miracles tells us that even though the world was made by the ego, obviously, that doesn't mean that the world cannot be seen through another purpose, through another interpretation, and thus experienced in a totally different way. And so, of course, in Miracles is teaching us how to transform the world from the ego's world, from a world dominated and controlled by death and lack and loss and fear, into the real world where you can experience the fact of your eternal nature, the fact that you cannot ever be without or lose what you love. So, the Course in Miracles is teaching us how to remember the truth about ourselves that ensure our safety and our peace and our joy and our abundance, no matter what seems to be going on in the world. That's, for me, that's one of the greatest values of the Course in Miracles to all of us, especially now when it seems like the insanity of the world is like going to levels that are like science fiction, like 1984, George Orwell's 1984, so that's what, and that's what the class yesterday, my Sunday class, was about. The title of yesterday's class was I'm Under No Laws But God's, right? And it says that you remembering that fact, that truth, I'm under no laws but God's, is how you declare your independence from all forms of danger and tyranny. You're like, I'm not under the laws that say that you gotta sacrifice in order to have love, that you got to lose and sacrifice in order to have the love of God or the love of another, right? You're not under the laws of the world. The laws of the world don't govern you because you are a child of God. Only the laws of God govern us. Now, I may choose to obey the laws of the ego world thinking I have to. And that's the only reason I would experience the ego laws. But if I say I'm not under those laws, God didn't say I needed to sacrifice my peace and joy and freedom in order to have the love of God or the love of another. And so I don't have to obey that law. I'm not under that law. And that is how we declare our freedom from all forms of tyranny and danger. Now, this lesson number 50, I am sustained by the love of God, does a very similar thing in my perception. So this lesson, I'm sustained by the love of God, is another way of declaring your freedom from all the ego's so-called laws of lack, right? The laws of the ego are lack is real, there's not enough love to go around, there's not enough abundance to go around, everybody's got to give up something, right? Loss is real, lack is real. And then in yesterday's lesson we went through many of the so-called laws of lack that we think that we must obey in order to have something. Sorry can you guys hear the wind that's blowing? It's a very funny sound, strange sound. But it's not me, it's the wind. Different kind of wind. All right. So today's lesson, I am sustained by the love of God, is very similar in its tone. All right. Thank you, wind. Is very similar in tone as to the lesson I'm under no laws but God's, because it is reminding us of the fact that we are not sustained by the world. It's not the world outside of us that sustains us. It's not anything outside of us that provides for us, that sustains us and provides for us. It's something that is within us. That is within us because of whom created us and how it created us. And that only if we are trying to follow and obey the laws of the ego world, which is the laws of lack and loss, that say that lack and loss is real and you gotta give up something if you want to have something. This lesson, I am sustained by the love of God, is reminding us that ultimately there is no lack and there is no loss, and that we are sustained as we remember and tune into and accept and acknowledge the universal, eternal, unlimited force of love and good that we were created to be. And so that as we remember and tune into the reality that we were created in and by, we are saying yes to the universally, eternally supplying good that we are always entitled to as children of God. Right. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So anywhere in your experience right now where you are experiencing a lack or a loss, bring that area of your life into this lesson and use this lesson, apply this lesson to wherever it is that you may be experiencing a lack or a loss in your life right now, so that you can experience something within you that fully sustains you. It brings you into a state of mind where you experience only your fullness, your completeness, how much you have, and how eternal it really is. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So let's see. Greg says, be in the world where the idea of punishment seems to rule the day, but do not let our minds be ruled by the laws of the ego, but the laws of love of God, the author of reality. Thank you, Greg. Talk dirty, baby. All right. Be in the world, but not of the world. All right. Okay. So I want to put back on some music to maybe instead of this. Greg, can you hear the wind that's blowing? It's so funny. Okay, let me go back here. And all right. Got some nice binaural beats, some solfeggio healing music going on here in the background. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, guys, here we are. We are in, hi, Jerry. So they in the world, but not the thoughts of heaven. Beautiful, but think the thoughts of heaven. Be in the world, but think the thoughts of heaven. Exactly, Jerry. Beautiful. Okay, guys. So we are in the workbook today, and we are on lesson 50. Greg, I said, can you hear it? That's what I asked. Can you hear it? I was just curious. It's really loud. I would be very happy to hear that you don't hear it. That'd be great, because it does kind of sound like some other kind of wind that we don't want to be happening during class. So, okay. Okay, guys, let's get back to some course here. All right. I am sustained by the love of God. Well, love the first sentence of the section. It says it all as usual. Here is the answer to every problem that confronts you. You can hear it. Okay. Here is the answer to every problem that confronts you today, tomorrow, and throughout time. Not bad, eh? For a first sentence. And quite the promise, wouldn't you say? Here is the answer to every problem that confronts you today, every problem that is confronting you today, every problem that will confront you tomorrow, and every problem that will confront you throughout time. Here is the answer. I am sustained not by what's going on in the world, not by what I can get, but I am sustained by the love of my Creator within me. That's the answer. I am sustained by the love of my Creator, who created me complete, who created me whole forever, who created me lacking nothing and needing nothing. That is what sustains me. Right? And if I am experiencing loss of any kind, it's because I am looking for my sustenance and my support and my peace and my protection somewhere besides the loving, infinite power, energy that is me, that resides within me, that is me. That's the only way that I could ever experience loss or lack or death. Is I must be looking for that sustenance, trying to get my sustenance from something outside of me, instead of looking within me for that infinite, loving force, power, energy that created me and that created me just like it, whole, complete, needing nothing and lacking nothing. I am sustained by the love of God within me, now and forever. All right. Like, yes, like for instance, like the problem of the windows blowing in because the wind is so high. Exactly. Hmm. Okay. So yes. All right. Now, then it says in this sentence number 2, in this world, you believe that you are sustained by everything but God. Right? In this world, we believe that we're sustained by everything but that infinitely loving power, energy that is within us, that was put within us by our Creator, who is infinitely loving, infinitely abundant forever. In this world, we believe that we are sustained by everything but that infinitely loving, powerful energy force within us, which we're calling God tonight. For instance, our faith is placed in the most trivial and insane symbols like pills, money, so called protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the so called right people, and an endless list of forms of nothingness, which we endow with magical power. Boy, isn't that true, right? So, what is it that we think will sustain us, take care of us, provide for us, protect us, give us peace, give us power? Well, it's everything outside of us, like pills, so called protective clothing, prestige, being liked, knowing the right people, and an endless list of forms of nothingness which you endow with magical powers. Yesterday, at yesterday's Sunday class at the Miracle Center, I was talking about how my ego believes that obviously that I'm sustained by having a sane government that has that has my best interest at heart. You know, my ego is telling me, oh well, I'm sustained by having a sane government, right? That is you know, that is working for the people. You know, government by the people, for the people. Ha ha. You know that and if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be upset when I look out and go, oh, we don't have a government by the people, for the people anymore. We have a government that serves itself. and sees us as useless eaters that should be eliminated, right? uh, I wouldn't be upset if I when I perceived that we don't have a government by the people for the people looking out for us anymore. I wouldn't be upset about that if I accepted the truth that I am sustained by the love of God within me. I'm upset because I think I'm sustained by the government. I think and then just add that into that long list of the endless list of forms of nothingness, which I endow with magical powers, right? So, prestige, being like, knowing the right people, money, pills, protective clothing, and a government that should be by the people for the people, but is not, right? Those the truth is that we are not sustained by anything or anyone outside of ourselves. Now, when we accept that fact as true, then we will stop seeking for our peace and our sustenance and our supply outside of ourselves in any way, shape, or form. And then no matter what's going on in the world, then we will be experiencing feeling supplied, feeling abundant, feeling supported by a friendly universe, by an abundant universe, by an infinitely loving, abundant, supportive creator who has created nothing but a supportive, friendly, abundant, rich universe where there's enough for everybody and nobody needs to sacrifice for it. Nobody needs to beg for it at all. You know, that is the universe that we live in because that is the true nature of God, our creator, as taught to us by A Course in Miracles. Obviously, that is not the God and the universe that we learned about in the past, right? None of our religions taught us that, and we didn't learn that. That's not the ego world's thinking and belief system, right? That we live in an abundant universe, a supportive universe, a friendly universe where there is no lack, where there's enough for everybody forever. Why? Because the universe was created by God, who is only loving, God who only gives, and God who has only supplied for God's creations in an unlimited manner forever, without price, without cost, for free, forever. That's what A Course in Miracles tells us about our Creator, God, and also the universe that God created that we live in, okay, whether in a body or not, right? So I'm upset about things that are going on in the world outside of myself because I haven't accepted the truth yet that, hey, I'm supplied, I'm sustained from within, from the love and the energy and the infinite power that is within me, that is me, that I was created in and as, right? So when I accept that fact, then I will be able to, experience abundance and peace and joy and love and safety and security no matter what is happening in the world. And that attitude, that awareness, that consciousness then truly transforms the world around me to mirror that fact, right? So, all righty. I think we're on to something. Mhm. All right, beautiful. Okay, everybody, if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, and subscribing, if you appreciate this content, then please do. It really tells the algorithm that this is valuable content, and then it sends it out to more people. And what does the world need more than to hear of this? Truly. So thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and increasing the strength of these ideas. Because as the Course in Miracles tells us, everything here is an idea. Everything here represents an idea. There's no accidents here. Everything here represents an idea. And the more who believe in ideas, the stronger they become. And so all this is ideas, loving, true, eternal ideas. And the more who believe in these ideas, the stronger they become. And we want to strengthen these ideas in the world right now because we want the world and everything and everyone in the world to experience the peace and the joy and the abundance that is their natural state that has been given to them for free forever, right? Lack is not real. Loss is not real. That's loss and lack is an idea, a false idea. It is not a reality. There is no lack in the universe that God created. There is no death in the universe that God created, in the reality that God has created. And as we accept and learn about the true nature of the universe and our reality, then we will experience the nature of the universe and our reality, which is no lack, no loss, no death, right? So, these are ideas that we want to practice ourselves so that we can come to believe them. And the best way to learn an idea, to accept it, is to share it. So that's why I teach, and that's why I encourage you and invite you to share these ideas as well. In whatever way you do that. And on behalf of the planet that desperately, desperately needs these ideas. Thank you. All right. So now we're on sentence number 4. Okay, let me just, yeah. So, okay. So I'm just going to review sentence number 3 and then we'll move forward. Your faith in this world, you believe you are sustained by everything but God. How do we know that? Because have you noticed that our faith is placed in the most trivial and insane symbols, like pills, like money, like so-called protective clothing, like influence, like prestige, or being liked, or knowing the so-called right people. And our faith is invested in an endless list of forms of nothingness which we endow with magical power. That's for sure. And that's why we experience being broke and afraid and angry all the time. Okay. Now, all these things that we just mentioned, that list of forms of nothingness we endow with magical powers, all these things, they are replacements for the love of God within you. Wow. Right. I'm not turning to the infinitely powerful and abundant, loving energy within me that my Creator put within me, created me in and as. And so instead of looking for that sustenance and that peace and that power within me, now I'm going to be looking for it outside of myself in the world. And of course, I'm not going to find it, truly. If the sustenance and the supply and the abundance and the love, peace, and joy and abundance, truly, if it could be found outside of us in all these things outside of us in the world, we'd all be blissed out. We'd all be enlightened. We'd all be happy all the time. So obviously, it just can't be true that our sustenance is in supply is found outside of us. Because if it did, we'd all be enlightened, blissed out masters of joy and peace and abundance. We wouldn't be feeling oppressed by lack. We wouldn't be feeling traumatic grief over loss. We wouldn't be afraid all the time of losing what we love. We wouldn't be afraid of starving if we didn't have stacks of paper strips and metal discs. but we're all oppressed. It's like I look out and I go like, my God, we all feel like debt slaves. We all feel oppressed by our belief in lack and loss. But not because lack and loss are natural in the universe, but because we're seeking for that experience of sustenance and supply and support where it can never be found, which is outside of us in the world. Okay. So all these things that we're worshiping to sustain us, all these insane things that we are putting our faith in to support us and supply us, all of these things that we're worshiping, they're all replacements for the love of God within us. And all these things are cherished to ensure a body identification. All these things that we put our faith in outside of us in the world, they're all just songs of praise to the ego. Wow. So every time I'm like, oh, if my government would just, be by the people, for the people, and take care of the people instead of making war to steal the resources of other countries, then I'd be happy. I'd have a good life. That's me. That's me cherishing something that is ensuring that I continue to see myself as a vulnerable, lacking body that's gonna die. That's me doing that. Me going, oh, if only the government were sane and took care of the people instead of serving themselves. That's me cherishing an idol outside of myself. That's me cherishing that idol to ensure that I continue to see myself as a body that never has enough and that's going to die. In other words, me cherishing those idols outside of myself is me singing a song, praising the ego. Okay. We'll just tell it like it is, course. All right. Yes, beautiful. Greg says, we don't have to understand how it's possible to experience a world where I'm sustained by God for by God, all that I need, having no need outside of God. Yes. The world outside of us is reflecting our inward ideas. To change the world is to change our idea. At the end of the day, the question remains, is my trust in fill in the blank, something outside myself, or in God? Very good. Well said, Greg. Okay. Okay. Like I said, if putting your faith in all those lists of meaningless things like power, fame, money, prestige, money, pills, protective clothing, being liked, knowing the right people, truly, if your happiness and your sense of abundance in life could truly come from those things, then you would not feel oppressed by lack and loss and fear right now. You would feel satisfied. You would feel happy. You would feel safe. You wouldn't feel endangered. You wouldn't be afraid of lack and loss. Okay. So, if learning aims, if the goal of learning is that you be happy and that you feel abundant, that you feel safe, has your learning worked? Has your learning served you? Well, if you are not experiencing lasting happiness and lasting abundance in your life, then it doesn't mean that you have failed. It doesn't mean that you are a loser. It doesn't mean that lack is real in the universe. It just means that you have been seeking for your experience of abundance and supply and support where you could never find it. That's the only reason why we would feel lack or loss at all, is if we're looking in the wrong place. Because lack and loss and death, they are not real, which means they are not natural in the universe as God created it. So if I'm not feeling happy and if I'm not feeling happy, wealthy, and happy, healthy, and wealthy right now, it's because I haven't been looking in the right place for it. And the only place that you can truly be found is within you, remembering and experiencing the truth and the love and the life and the energy, the infinite power that is within you, because it is you, because that's what you were created to be, because that's what God is. All right. Hi, Jean and Michael. Lovely. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're here. You're with moving to YouTube on TV. Beautiful. Excellent. All right. Love it that I'm on your big TV in your living room, Jean and Michael. I can't really watch myself on a big TV. My Virgo ego is just like, woo, that's too big. But also, I don't know if you know Gene and Michael, but I am broadcasting live on my new Facebook channel, which is, you'll it's just my name and teacher, healer, visionary. So if you like seeing me on Facebook, then I am broadcasting live on my new Facebook page, which is right here. Some people like to watch this class on Facebook, but I stopped broadcasting on my old page, and now I'm broadcasting live on my new page. So there you go. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay. That was one paragraph. That was one paragraph we just finished. So I'm telling you, Course in Miracles is just dense, dense, dense miracles. It's just, you could take one sentence or one paragraph or one page or one section of A Course in Miracles, and you could dive deep into it for the rest of your life, and you could use it to save yourself from any kind of suffering. Course in Miracles is holographic. It's like the truth. All of the truth is true. And so any part of the truth contains all of the truth. So when you go to any section, any sentence, any paragraph of A Course in Miracles, you are looking at something that contains the whole of truth. It's a Course in Truth. The Course in Miracles is holographic like that, because truth is one. Truth is whole. So if you know any part of truth, you know all of truth. Truth is consistent. Truth is one, right? And so, so it's just, with A Course in Miracles, there's just no top to it. There's no top to it. It's amazing. It's eternal. Truth is eternal. All right. So now we're in paragraph 2. Okay, here we go. So then in paragraph 2, so it told you in paragraph 1 what the problem was. Okay, I've been putting my faith in things that can't sustain me, that can't sustain my peace, my joy, my abundance, my happiness. And that's why I experience the illusion of lack and loss and death and unhappiness. Okay. Now here, and then it told us the answer. The only place to find true sustenance, true support, and happiness and joy and abundance is within you, in the reality that you were created in and as. And now it's going to give you more instructions for the answer. Paragraph 2. Do not put your faith in the worthless. Don't put your faith in things that can't sustain you. Don't put your faith for your peace and abundance in anything outside of you that cannot sustain you. Anything outside of you that you are trying to put your faith in, it is worthless. It will not sustain you. Only the love of God within you will protect you in all circumstances, no matter how crazy and psychopathic your government may be. And I'm talking about all the governments, because they're all run by the same few people. But I'm telling, in all circumstances, and I mean no matter what is happening in your world, in the ego world, The ego world's always been insane. The ego world has always been murderous. The ego world has always been dangerous. Wars have dominated the ego world since before we have even done recorded history, right? The Course calls it the ego world. That's the world dominated by the ego. And it's not just this government or the previous government, it's the ego world. It's the world that was made by the ego for the ego's purposes. But it doesn't matter what the form of the insanity of the world is. It doesn't matter. The insanity of the world today is the same as the insanity of the world 200 years ago or 5,000 years ago. It's always been dominated by war. It's always been a world where everything lives off the death of something else. And it's always been a world where the few seek to control the many. Okay. So, but this is saying, don't get caught up in like, oh, our government, this government, or da 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 is the reason why you can't be happy or abundant right now. This says in paragraph 2, don't put your faith in anything outside of you. Anything and everything outside of you is worthless for your faith. Everything outside of you will not sustain you. Only the love of God within you will protect you in all circumstances, no matter what madness or craziness is going on in the world, which it always is, if you've noticed. As a matter of fact, the love of God within you, you remembering and experiencing and feeling and tuning into the love within you that is you, that created you, only that will lift you out of every trial and raise you high above all the perceived dangers of this world and bring you into a climate of perfect peace and safety. Only the love of God within you. Only tuning into, remembering, feeling, accepting the experience of the love that created you whole and complete and eternal, where you cannot need anything, you cannot lack anything, you cannot lose anything, and you cannot die. Only tuning into and remembering and experiencing that will protect you in all circumstances. Only the love of God within you will lift you out of every trial and raise you high above all perceived dangers of this world and into a climate of perfect peace and safety. Wow. Now there's a mouthful. My goodness. Okay, now, has this been your problem solving approach today? Is this how you went to solve your problems of lack, loss, of fear, lack, danger today? Is this what you turn to today to experience perfect peace and safety? Is this what you turn to today to experience a state of mind of perfect peace and safety? Yeah, me neither. But it's never too late. Never too late. Okay. Beautiful. Greg says, it is worthless as nothing is worthy of replacing God's support and embrace. Yes, exactly. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, this lesson right here is definitely in my Course in Miracles emergency, break, read in case of emergency. This one is because this is telling us what is the answer to all the perceived dangers of this world. So, right. So whenever you are experiencing the world as dangerous, right? This is the answer. This is the way to experience a state of mind, a climate, a state of mind of perfect peace and safety. Wow. And I love it. So notice, I love that phrase. It will raise you into a climate of perfect safety and peace. So what we're talking about here is a state of mind. So we're talking about a state of mind where you are remembering and choosing to tune into and experience and remember a state of mind, a state of mind where you are remembering the truth about yourself, your true nature as an eternal being in whom there is no lack or loss or death possible. So, as you remember who you are as a soul, a mind created by God, God who created you as perfect, as complete, as whole, which means lacking nothing, needing nothing, and eternal. As you remember that, it brings you into a state of mind. It raises you into a state of mind. It's like you talked about raising your frequency or raising your level of consciousness. That's what we're doing here. We're letting ourselves remember the truth about ourselves so that we can raise our consciousness, our level of awareness to the experience of perfect peace and safety. And when you have an awareness of perfect peace and safety, because you have remembered you're sustained by the love of God, and you can't lack, and you can't have a loss, and you can't die, then you're going to be in a state of mind of perfect peace and safety. And then we know from what A Course in Miracles has been teaching us that thought is creative. So as you have that experience and you remember that fact about your being and your nature, then your thoughts are then your thoughts will be mirrored, right? The Course in Miracles tells us that everything is a thought, everything is an idea, all things come from ideas. So as you allow yourself to have the idea of your reality in your mind, then those ideas become things, and now you experience a world that that keeps you safe, and that protects you, and that's safe, and that's beautiful, right? Now, that's not because the world itself was that way. It's because your thoughts take form. Thoughts become things. Everything in the world came from an idea in your mind. So if you're experiencing lack or loss in your world, it's not because that is real or natural. It's because you're just seeing the mirroring of your ideas. Everything comes from an idea, right? So we want to accept and tune into and remember the ideas that are true, that I am sustained by the love of God within me. I am the love of God. I am the love the love that cannot die, the love in which there is no lack or loss. So that then I will experience the world like that. All right. Beautiful. Alex, lovely to see you. She says, I'm currently on lesson 272. Beautiful. She said, thank you for the reminder. I've been experiencing all this. Beautiful. Well, good job. Well, I'm very happy to say, good job. Way to love yourself with these ideas. Right. Beautiful. All right. Alexa, where are you watching from today? I'm always curious where people are watching from. And you've got this great last name that I don't know if I could pronounce. Yes, beautiful. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, welcome to the class. Appreciate you being here. Okay, so then it says, so we're still on paragraph 2, and it says, and I'll just read over it and then we'll move forward. Southern California, beautiful. That's where my daughter lives, Southern California. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to review paragraph number 2, what we've read so far, and then we're going to move forward in paragraph 2. Do not put your faith in the worthless, which means anything outside of yourself. It will not sustain you. Only the love of God will protect you in all circumstances. The love of God within you will lift you out of every trial and raise you high above all the perceived dangers of this world and into a climate of perfect peace and safety. And not only that, experiencing the love of God within you will transport you into a state of mind in which nothing can threaten and nothing can disturb. A state of mind where nothing can intrude upon the eternal calm of you. Woo! Wow. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything, and there's no side effects. All right. You're telling me that as I remember the love of God within me and the way God has created me, the love and the eternalness and the eternal supply of the love that created me, that is within me, you're telling me that it will transport me into a state of mind that nothing can threaten. You're telling me I could have a state of mind where I don't feel threatened by anything, not even the crazy world, crazy world, and the psychopathic government that we all have. You're telling me that I could experience a state of mind that nothing could disturb and nothing could threaten. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to try that. And I have tried that. And that's one of the reasons why I still teach and study A Course in Miracles after 41 years, because nothing has worked like this. This works. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Every single time I have ever used this in my problem solving repertoire, I experience miracles of peace and miracles of abundance. No matter what kind of chaos and craziness is going on in my world, this works because it is true. It is telling us the truth, right? Beautiful. And then Alexa, and forgive me if I'm not saying your name right, Alexa, but she says, and then people get mad when you're not freaking out like they are. Oh, so true. So true. So true. People get so upset when you're not upset as they are. They get so upset about that. Alexa says, I've lost almost all my family because I realized they were in so much fear and I love myself too much to stay there. Yes, you are saying it right. Beautiful, Alexa. Okay. Yeah, Alexa, a long time ago, I also had to leave my family um, because of what you're saying. But because I kept practicing and kept being loving, now I have a very loving relationship with my family because of A Course in Miracles. I had to leave my family initially because of A Course in Miracles, but because of A Course in Miracles, now I have only a loving relationship with my family. And so that's one of the great proofs in my life that A Course in Miracles is the truth and it works. So beautiful. Okay. So paragraph 3, don't put your faith in illusions. Don't put your faith in illusions. Beautiful. Thank you, Alexa. Okay. Don't put your faith in anything outside of you. Like, oh, when I get this relationship, I'll be happy. When this person changes, I'll be happy. When my government is sane, I'll be happy. When I get that job, I'll be happy. When I have this money, when I have this prestige, when I have this power, when people like me, when I know the right people, when my body looks like this, when I have enough prestige, when I have enough money in the bank, when whatever, anything where you're like, when this happens, or if this happens, or when they change, I'll be happy. That's an illusion. Don't put your faith in illusions. Don't put your faith in anything outside of you. Don't put your faith in anything outside of your mind in which God resides. Okay. Can you guys hear the wind outside? Don't put your faith in the wind not sounding like that during class. We got a windstorm happening right now, and it's like pushing the windows in and pushing them out and making this crazy haunting sound. All right. So don't put your faith in illusions. Those illusions will fail you. They won't make you happy. Put all your faith in the love of God within you. Because the love of God within you is eternal, it is changeless, and it is forever unfailing. Wow. Okay. Within us, within our minds, is a power, is a love that is eternal, changeless, and forever unfailing. Now, have you found a power and a love outside of you in the world that is eternal, changeless, and forever unfailing? Have we ever experienced anything outside of us, any love, any source of support or happiness or joy that was changeless? Have you ever experienced a love outside of yourself that was changeless and forever unfailing? Have you ever experienced anything outside of yourself that gave you love and joy and support and sustenance that was forever unfailing and changeless? Nope, me neither. And that is why I love A Course in Miracles so much, because it was the first thing that said, within us is a power and a love that never changes. Within us is a love that no matter what mistakes we make, it doesn't stop loving us. Within us is a power that no matter what we do, it never fails to help us, to give us what we need. But it's within us, and it's for free, and it's eternal. It's forever unfailing. It's forever changes. This is a love for us that never changes its mind about us. It never fails to support us and take care of us and supply us and protect us. Never. The only way you could not know this love that's in you, that is you, like, wait a minute, I got a love and a power that's in me that's forever unfailing and completely changeless and eternal. Well, then how come I don't know about that? That's not what I'm experiencing. Well, it's only because you have been looking outside of yourself for it. You've been looking in the wrong place for it. It's the only reason that you didn't know about it. And that's the only reason you haven't been experiencing this kind of love and this kind of power that is forever unfailing and changeless in its love and support for you. You know, that's the only reason that we haven't experienced it, because I've been looking everywhere but within me for it. And that's the only reason that we experience disappointment, despair, depression, anxiety, and fear. Instead of, oh my God, I'm so loved with a forever unfailing, changeless love. Oh my God, it feels so good. The only reason that I ever experienced depression, anxiety, loss, lack, disappointment, abandonment is because I am looking outside of myself and in the world for that. Depression and despair and disappointment is not natural. It's not real. It only comes when you're looking in the wrong place for the forever unfailing and changeless love that God and the universe has for you. So that's the only time we experience depression. I'm looking for love outside of myself. I'm looking for support and supply from outside of myself. And you can't find it. I can't find it outside myself. That's the only reason I experience lack. It's the only reason I experience loss is because I'm looking for that forever unfailing love and supply where it's not at. But if I was looking in the right place for it, then all I would ever experience is a eternal, changeless, and forever unfailing source of supply and support and love. That's all I would be experiencing. And then that's all I would be seeing. I love it. Universe. Love that. Love that. Okay. And then now we're on sentence 4, paragraph 3. All right. Let me put this up here. Okay. All right. Okay. Sentence 4, paragraph 3. This is the answer to whatever confronts you today. What is it that's confronting you today? What is your temptation to experience lack and loss and fear and abandonment? What is your temptation today? Well, this is the answer to that. This is the answer to whatever confronts you today, tomorrow, or whenever. Through the love of God in you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort, which means ensure confidence. Love that. Now that's an answer. An answer that will enable me to resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Now that's a real answer. And this idea is that answer. Okay. Through the love of God in you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. So, if that's the case, then tell yourself this often today. You can't tell yourself this too much today. If you are feeling confronted today and you are tempted today to believe in the lack, the loss, the fear, the abandonment, the death, then tell yourself this idea as often as you can remember to do. Why? Because this idea, I am sustained by the love of God in me, is your declaration of release from your belief in idols. This is your declaration of your release. I declare my release from my belief in idols. I declare my independence from my belief in those idols that have never brought me peace, that have never supported me, that have never made me feel complete. I declare my release from my belief in the things outside of me that I used to worship, thinking that they would take care of me. I declare my release from my belief that those things outside of me would take care of me. I am sustained by the love of God within me. Wow. And when you say, I am sustained by the love of God within me, you are acknowledging the truth about yourself. Okay. So really, When it says for us to say, I am sustained by the love of God within me, what it's telling us is to remember the truth about yourself. That's what it's saying. To declare your release from the self imposed imprisonment that you have, or enslavement that you have put yourself in by worshiping idols. When you worship idols, you are voluntarily enslaving yourself to something that does not want to take care of you. It wants to use you. And so when you say, I am sustained not by them, not by that, you're saying, I acknowledge the truth about myself. I was created by God, which is love, which means I was created as an infinite, eternal, loving, and lovable idea, power that can never lack for anything, that can never lose anything, and that cannot die. I'm acknowledging the truth about myself. I was created by God, which is love, which means I was created complete. I was created whole. I don't need anything outside of myself or anybody outside of myself for love, for joy, for abundance, for eternal life. I don't need anything outside of myself. I was created complete because I was created by God, who is only love, who only gives. If God is only love, then it makes sense that God would create beings who don't need anything, to be what they are, right? Now, if God was not love, then it would make sense that God would create creations who are all needy and vulnerable. God did not create God's children to be needy and vulnerable. God did not create God's precious beloved children to be mortal and fallible and full of sin, needy and vulnerable. So when you say, I am sustained by the love of God within me, you're saying, I acknowledge that I was created by love. And because I was created by love, I was created complete and whole, not needing anything, and certainly not vulnerable to anything outside of myself. So that's what you're doing when you say, I am sustained by the love of God within me. You're acknowledging the truth about yourself. All right. Truth is so beautiful. Yes, I love the without effort part. Me too. I got a lazy ego. I love the without effort part. I've often referred to the Course in Miracles as the lazy man's guide to enlightenment. You never, ever was so much given for so little asked than in this curriculum. All right. So, and if you think that's good, wait till you hear the rest. It just gets better and better. All right. So now we're on paragraph 4. And let's see. And there's only 4 paragraphs. So we're doing great. Yes, it is so effortless. So effortless. Yeah, because it's effortless because God, who is only love, created God's creations not needing anything. Because God is loving, God created God's creations to not need anything, which means we don't need to do anything, right? The Course in Miracles says the most the statement that can lead you to enlightenment faster than trying to meditate in a cave on detachment from the body for 100 years is, I need do nothing. I need do nothing, because God has created us complete and whole, which means needing nothing, which means needing to do nothing, to be the whole ecstatic, eternal, loving, lovable creation that we are. We don't need to do anything to be what we are. We don't need to get anything. We don't need to take anything. We don't need to change anything. We don't need to do anything. at all to be the whole and complete and eternal and ecstatic and loving being that we were created to be. Only if God was not loving would God create us incomplete, where we always got to get something, we always got to do something, and we always got to beg for something, and we always got to give up something to get something. That would only be true about us if God was not only love. Okay. So, one of the things that it has us meditating on in the course is the statement, I need do nothing. And same as saying, I'm sustained by the love of God within me. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to get anything. I don't need to take anything. I don't need to change anything. I just need to accept the truth about myself, the way I was created by my Creator. That's all I need to do in order to experience the whole and complete and eternal, ecstatic, abundant bliss that I am. The Course in Miracles is just one big curriculum for unlearning, just unlearning all that we learned about how we weren't, what we learned was we weren't created complete. We weren't created whole. We were created guilty and needy and vulnerable. And so, Course in Miracles is helping us to unlearn all that we learned falsely and wrongly about ourselves. We weren't created in sin. We weren't created guilty. We weren't created with need and lack and incompleteness. We weren't created so lacking that we need to take and get and scheme and plan to get and take in order to have a little something, and then we got to work to protect it so we don't lose it. That's not the way we were created. That's not our reality. And the Course in Miracles is a curriculum in mind training, teaching us, excuse me, how to unlearn what we learned about ourselves and to help us to accept the truth about ourselves so that we can experience the wholeness, the completeness, the eternalness, the eternal abundance-ness of our being. Wow, Alexa, this is your first year. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Alexa asks, after 41 years, are you still unlearning? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am still unlearning. I am. But I have to tell you that where I am right now in my life is like light years beyond where I was 41 years ago in terms of happiness, abundance, joy, so, and what I did for 41 years has enabled me to save others time. So because I've been doing it for 41 years, now you don't have to. You can do it in 2 years or 1 year, and that's what A Course in Miracles says, that each one of us can save other people lots and lots of time. A Course in Miracles says that every single teacher of God saves the world 1,000 years of learning. So maybe it took me 41 years, but now you don't have to. Now you can do it in 2, right? Or you can do it now, right? And I can tell you this, that even though I still have unlearning to go, I would never in a million years, 41 years ago, dreamed that I would have the life that I have right now. So, I still have learning to do, but what I have learned has, given me the life I have now. So, all right. Thank you, sister. That's beautiful. Okay. And you are my inspiration, Alexa, you doing it, going for it. It's awesome. All right, so here we go. Now we're just going to talk about how to practice this idea. So the Course in Miracles always gives us the idea, and then it tells us how to do it, how to practice it. Okay, so paragraph 4. For 10 minutes twice today, morning and evening, let the idea I am sustained by the love of God within me. Let it sink deep into your consciousness. This is the ultimate meditation practice, by the way. Repeat the idea, I am sustained by the love of God. Think about the idea, I am sustained by the love of God, and repeat it, and then let related thoughts come to help you recognize its truth. And allow the idea, I'm sustained by the love of God, allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety. And while you're doing this practice, don't let any idle and foolish ideas enter to disturb your holy mind. Okay, hear the practice. This is the way to practice this idea. You, for 10 minutes twice today, you close your eyes and you let the idea for today sink deep into your consciousness. You repeat it, you think about it, you allow related thoughts to come that help you to recognize the truth of it, and you allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety. And when those idle, foolish thoughts come to disturb your mind about what you got to do and what you need to fear, be afraid of, don't let them enter. Just say no. Be like Nancy Reagan in drugs and just say no. You're like, nope, 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 ego. I am working on something here that has the power to bring me peace, whereas you never did. You just say no. Don't let those idle thoughts, those foolish thoughts, the ego thoughts, don't let them enter. Just say no. I know it seems crazy, but you can just say no to the ego thoughts. And the ego thoughts are like, no, you can't say no to us. I know it's a radical concept, but when the fear ego thoughts come in and tell you how you are not sustained by the love of God, you are sustained by that job that you need to get to, and you need to get some money, and you need to get some da-da-da. When those foolish thoughts come in to disturb your peace of mind, just say no. Don't let them disturb your holy mind. Your mind is holy. Your mind is where God lives. Your mind is the altar to God. Your mind is the touchstone to the love of God. God lives in you, in your mind. Your mind is a temple to the love of God. You are a temple to God. And you can say no when the ego tries to barge in and tell you what you need to be afraid of and what you need to feel guilty and ashamed about. You can say, no, my mind is the dwelling place of the living God, and you cannot come in. And this is how you practice this idea. You're practicing making your mind into the holy, sacred temple space that your mind is. And you're allowing only the truth to be in that holy temple of your mind for 10 minutes, twice a day, right? So this is how we practice. And you have the ability here to, let me go back here. Okay. Okay. With this practice, you could allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety. Now, talk about a practice that heals your mind. When you allow yourself to remember the truth about yourself as God created you, you are healing your mind. You are allowing a blanket of protection and surety. You are allowing peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety over your mind. That's how you heal your mind. Now, then it goes on to say, your healed mind, where you feel blanketed by peace and protection, where you feel enveloped by peace and protection, that's the kingdom of heaven. That's the kingdom of heaven. Heaven is not some place that you need to die to get into. Maybe if you behaved properly and if you obeyed all the so-called laws of God. The kingdom of heaven is your mind that is full of peace, because you feel safe and you feel protected in a eternal kind of way. That's the kingdom of God. Your peace of mind, where you feel safe, and you feel protected, and you feel peaceful, and you feel supported. That's the kingdom of heaven. You are the kingdom of heaven. The Course of Miracles tells us, it's not that just the kingdom of heaven is within you. You are the kingdom of heaven. Your peace of mind. That's the kingdom of heaven. And also, your peace of mind is your resting place where God has placed you forever. Yes, that's right, Alexa. The Garden of Eden is a state of mind. That's exactly right. Beautiful. And then she says, I'm in it every moment because I am it. Exactly. That's right. And that's why, so to accept the truth about yourself as created by God, as created by a love and an infinite power that is protecting you and providing for you and loving you in a changeless, eternal way, that is to experience peace of mind. That is the way to experience heaven on earth or wherever you are, right? So that's why it says in this lesson, when you say, I am sustained by the love of God within me, you are acknowledging and recognizing the truth about yourself, and you are allowing that truth about yourself to make your mind into heaven, into a temple of where only peace and safety and protection and abundance abides. You are experiencing yourself as you were created to be. And guess what you were created to be? Heaven. You are heaven. You are the kingdom of heaven. It's not just that the kingdom of heaven is within you. You are the kingdom of heaven. You are the peace and the love and the eternal joy, the eternal love and the eternal supply and the infinite power of God. That's what you are. You just learned you were a body. You just learned that you were a body and that you were guilty and that you deserve to suffer and that you deserve punishment for some stupid thing. You just learned that. That's never been our truth ever. So beautiful, guys. We finished the section excuse me. Excuse me. Ego always jumps in my throat when I'm trying to teach. All right, let's do an integration meditation where let's just do this and do our integration meditation. But I want to make a couple of announcements before I do. And first announcement is if you would like to make a financial expression of appreciation to my Course in Miracles ministry, you can go to my new website, divinerevolutionarq.com, and you can make a financial expression of appreciation. And also, if you go to my website, also you can, and if you become a member of my website, which is you can do for free, you can access many of my my playlists. One of my playlists is called Songs of Freedom, where I'm just reading A Course in Miracles to beautiful music. It's a very meditative healing device that I've created for my own healing. So when I'm distressed, I just put on my Course in Miracles recordings where I'm just reading the course to beautiful music. It's very comforting, it's very soothing, and I'm remembering the truth about myself. It never fails to bring me peace when I was not in peace, whenever I listen to my songs of freedom. I'm just reading course, I'm not teaching the book, but also many different playlists of Course in Miracles classes that I've done over the years. And also it's a way to for me and you to connect. Starting in February, I'm going to be doing once a week question and answer miracle chats for members of my website, where you can just bring whatever you want to ask, and and I'll answer it the best I can, from 41 years of a Course in Miracles teacher and almost 30 years of being a holistic psychotherapist. So that is the weekly miracle chats for members of my website. We're just doing Q&A, and where we can get to talk to each other, get to know each other, and have some fun talking truth. Okay. So all those wonderful things that you can experience from going and checking out my website. And I'm going to put that up here. Here we go. That's my website. And all my writings, all my blogs and memes, they're all up there. So if you're somebody who's able to hear the voice of God healing you through me, then there's just tons and tons and tons. My blogs and my writings on my website, they're almost all of them are where I am bringing my problems to my higher self, and I'm like, blah 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 blah, and then spirit answers me. So truly, all my writings, blogs, memes, my 2 books, they're all me going to spirit and complaining, bitching and moaning, and asking for peace. And then spirit answers me. And then those are my writings and my blogs. So if you're somebody who is able to hear God, the voice for God through me, then you might appreciate those. And all the stuff I bring to spirit is all the stuff we deal with. It's always just all the same stuff, worries, fears, lacks, upset, that we all have. So anyway, go check out my website, check out my writings and my recordings, and enjoy. And I hope to see you in my Q&A, my weekly Q&A. I have not set yet the date, like every Wednesday at blah, 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 such and such a time. So I haven't set that yet, but I am going to start that in February. So do check for that on my website. That's where I'll be posting that. And then we can connect and we can chat and talk about whatever you want to talk about. All right. Okay, guys. Okay, now we're going to do the integration meditation. Wonderful. Beautiful. I'm so very grateful to have connected with you too, Alexa. Thanks for being here in this class and talking to me. I love it. So wonderful. Okay, so great. So now in the integration meditation, we're just going to take the ideas. We're going to take them deeply. We're going to actually do this particular meditation practice. We're going to do it like a meditation practice. and then that's it. I love to combine Course in Miracles with meditation. To me, Course in Miracles is the best meditation teacher I ever had. Taught me how to meditate. All right. So you guys, if you are not driving heavy machinery and you can close your eyes and take a breath. And let's do this practice. Let's do this meditation. Just breathe. Just notice how you feel right now, having heard these ideas from A Course in Miracles. How do you feel right now in your heart, in your mind, in your body? Notice how you feel hearing these ideas, even if you don't believe them or accept them yet. How do you feel hearing them? Are they comforting? Do they feel true? Do they bring you hope? Beautiful. All right. So now let this idea sink deep into your consciousness. Repeat it. Think about it. Let related thoughts come to help you recognize its truth. I am sustained by the love of God. Let it sink deep into your consciousness. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. And now let related thoughts come to help you recognize the truth of this statement. Maybe you might allow the related thought, I am as God created me. I am in need of nothing but the truth. Or I am not a body, I am free. I am still as God created me. I am sustained by the love of God within me. Beautiful. And now allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety. Breathe in that peace. Imagine that peace flowing over you like a blanket of protection and surety. Feel the safety. Feel how protected you are by the love that you are. Feel the safety and the peace that you were created in and by forever. I am safe. I am protected forever by the love that created me. I have nothing to fear because I remain as God created me. I cannot lose anything real because I was created as everything. I cannot lose anything because I was created as everything. I am the guiltless child of God, and I deserve only love. I am the guiltless child of God, and I am in need of nothing but the truth about myself. God, I feel your love within me now. I feel its changelessness. I feel its eternalness. I feel your eternal, changeless love in me now, and it is heaven, and it is me. Thank you. And breathe and feel. I feel the love of God within me now. And it is changeless, and it is eternal, and it is heaven, and it is me. All right, you guys. And then when you're ready, just take a breath and bring your awareness back to your body. Thank you all for joining this broadcast. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for being here and sharing your energy to these ideas that they might be strengthened as they go out to heal the world along with us. I appreciate you all more than I can say. And also, Greg and I, my husband Greg and I, will be teaching Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles this coming Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And and that'll be every Wednesday unless I'm off traveling somewhere. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles with me and my husband Greg. It's awesome, great class. Come check it out. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time I see ya. So happy to be ya.